Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be setting up so our horses can eat this roadside grass. People have done this for years, and the Amish still do it all the time. The way they do it is they stake an animal out, and it can get kind of damaged because if you do that with a horse, they'll swing out into the road. We almost hit an Amish horse, that was probably a month ago now. It was staked so that it could get all the grass alongside the road, but it had a long enough rein so that it could go out in the road. And it was spooked by something and went completely out in the road. I mean, it was a country road and we could stop in time, but we have a better way of doing it. What we do is put out our T-post buckets. This year, Cindy wants me to put actual T-post in at both ends so that the fence can be tightened up. But the T-post buckets will span the rest of the way. Then when the township comes and they see the buckets out, they'll just leave it alone. But what it does is brings that fence out to right here. And the horses will eat all this stuff. At that point, we'll probably move the horses to a different pasture and let this one heal up a bit. But today's task is just to get them buckets out before they come and cut this and waste all this beautiful grass. This is probably maybe 2 weeks worth of eating right here for these 3 horses. So let's go get the buckets and set them up. I almost forgot, I got to get the morning watering done. It is going to get up to around 90 today and then over 90 tomorrow. So this stuff really needs to be watered because I have them annual wildflower seeds in here. If you've been watching the channel, I water this 4 times a day, and I believe I have some zinnias coming up already in the other part of the garden, but I'm not sure, and it really doesn't matter. We have 4 days straight of rain coming up, then off 1 day, and then I think 3 more after that. So a lot of rain is coming, and they'll all sprout during that, but I would love to have them get some roots in before it rains so the seeds don't get washed away. As long as it's not a real strong rain, the first rain, I think I'll be all right, but it would still suck to lose any seeds. All right, I'm going to finish this up and then I'll go get the buckets. If you have watering to do over several hundred feet, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. When you get about halfway, you disconnect one of the hoses, put the spray nozzle on the other half, then I can go all the way to the other end, and when I do the next spray, come back to here, reconnect the hose, put the spray head on the other end, and then finish it up. That way I never have to go back and turn on and off the water, and I don't have to drag 250 feet of hose around with me. I'm over by my decrepit little garden, and I was just checking out my peppers to see if they're ready to prune yet. I could probably get in there and prune it, but there's just not enough space in there, so I'm going to let it go for a while. I think what I'm going to do is prune these 2 and then let that one down there grow normally, and then see how many peppers we get off of these 2. 1 pruned, 1 not pruned. I'm going to bet that we get about twice as many peppers off the pruned one as the not pruned one. It'll be interesting to see. I'm also going to prune these cucumbers, and they're getting pretty close as well. The tomatoes were all pruned when I planted them because they were just in horrible shape, and I just took off that horrible stuff. But they're kind of making a comeback. They're not as good as I'd like to see them yet, but they'll get there. All right, on to the buckets. All right, here are our T-post buckets. They're getting in pretty sad shape. The handle broke off of some of them, but they still all work. The way we made these, we just took a sawhorse and set it up and then put the bucket underneath it, filled the bucket with concrete, put the T-post in it, and then just put a clamp onto the sawhorse to hold it straight for a while. Pretty easy. I think we need to make, I don't know, maybe 4 more of these. We have to string the wire pretty thin as it is. That's probably 300 feet or so between 6 buckets. It's a pretty long distance. But I gotta go clear out the gator, and Natalie has some pots in the middle of my road here. She spray painted some pots. She does a lot of decorating stuff. I gotta get those out of the way. So I'll get that stuff done and we'll load up the buckets. These hummingbirds are just going crazy. They go through 3 of those a day now. They'll go through a lot more at the very end of the year. Alright, I had to get that mulch out of here so that the women could leave with the car. Now I got to empty out the gator so I can get the buckets on it. Alright, that does it for the buckets. I have my roller measure. I'm going to measure the road and then divide it by how many. There's 6 buckets, plus I got 1 T-post that's going to be driven into the road at either end. And then when I'm placing these, I'm going to place them kind of evenly. We got another project coming up real soon, that big pile of gravel. You may have seen the videos last year if you've been around a while. I was filling up wheelbarrows full of gravel up there and then rolling them over here down the hill. And well, I put this in last year, all this fill here, and then I have fill going along the back of the shed here. I'm trying to get a walkway here. This shed was kind of built really funky, and the hill just went right up to the edge and it started caving in. So I had all this big riprap rock put here, but the guy who did it, his bucket would not reach up to here to put gravel here. And he had a tiny little excavator, but that would have just took way too long. Well, not as long as this, but anyways, I'm gonna keep going with that gravel, and I gotta fix a window over here and bunch of other stuff. But for now, I'm going to take my roller measure and measure the road. Okay, so that's right around 380 feet. Alright, I got 2 of them set. I'm just measuring with my little wheel measure. Yeah, this is quite the distance between them. It's 50 some feet. 55 feet is what I'm putting them at. I really need to get one in the center of each one of these. Then like I said, I gotta drive some T-posts at either end. But I really need to make some more buckets. I got a big stack of concrete that I was gonna just get rid of because it's kind of old and some of it's kind of stiff, but I think I'm gonna make as many as I can with that, and then I'll get rid of the rest. Okay, 4 more to go. Okay, there it is. I should figure this out on the computer, how much extra grass this is, because it's anywhere from 8 to 10 feet wide by, what was it, 300 and 350, 360, whatever. I should figure that out and see what part of an acre this is. That's a lot of grass. But anyways, now once they get this all bitten down, we'll likely move them to the pasture over there and then put the fence back. And then we're going to split this pasture in half right down the middle so that they have an upper and a lower pasture. Otherwise, they just wander around and take a bite here and a bite there and shit the place up, and it's not a real good use of pasture land. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. We just opened this up a little while ago, and the horses immediately went in here and started devouring this long grass. They're locked in the dry lot right now, so this is the only grass they can eat. As soon as they get it completely mowed down to pretty much nothing, then we'll let them out on this stuff. You could see that back fence there keeps them right in this row here. Okay, that's going to wrap this video up. Make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.